Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If you are here, this is another edition of Spectacular 31 Days of Halloween. So I hope you guys are liking this series so far. I'm having so much fun doing this, and I'm going to hopefully do 31 full videos, but life gets in the way sometimes, but that is the goal. So today I'm going to talk to you about the children's game known as Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board. Now, because it's 2020, we have seen many surgence of 3 a.m. games. And these games can be relatively spooky or just plain childish, but these aren't the games that I grew up with. I like the old fashioned stuff. The stuff that could really get you in trouble with a demon or something. You never know. Light as a feather, stiff as a board is something that I did as a child, and I'm sure many of you have done it as well. If you're not familiar with the game, there are actually many ways to play it, but they have the same principle. Usually, you have a group of people with one person laying flat on their back, face up on the ground. Everybody else will kneel around them or even sit around them, but usually it's kneel around them and place their fingertips lightly under their body. So everybody is equally distributed around the person laying down, including one person at the head and one person at the feet, with just their fingertips of both hands underneath the person. While they are doing this game, this is where the variations happen. Some people will say they are looking ill to the person who is laying on the ground. So the person at the head will say they are looking ill. And everybody will repeat at least 3 times, they are looking ill. They are looking ill. They are looking ill. Next, the person will say, they are looking worse. And everybody will repeat, they are looking worse. They are looking worse. They are looking worse. After that, they are dying. They are dying. They are dying. And finally, they are dead. They are dead. They are dead. After this final they are dead is uttered, this is when everybody starts to stand up and tries to lift the body as they say the words, light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. This is supposed to show that you are able to pick someone up with the fingertips of your hands with a group of people and cause almost something like levitation. Now, there are scientific reasons for why this game can be successful. It all has to do with equal weight distribution and things like that. But who cares about science when it has to do with fun, right? Science is fun. Okay. All you scientists out there, science is fun. Yes, science is fun. Um, this person can be picked up a short amount, so very little from the ground, to all the way over your head. And depending on how well you do, is how high you can pick this person up. Now, it's a very interesting phenomenon because I have seen this happen in cases of someone who is quite heavy, like myself, being able to be lifted over someone's head, or someone who is very tiny and can't even pick them up. So, very odd. But how I played this as a child was a little different than this version. So the same basic principles were applied. So you will have somebody lay on the ground, face up, And you will have people around the person laying down. You'll have one person at the head, one person at the foot, and everybody just has the tips of their fingers underneath the person. So instead of the little, they are looking ill, they are looking worse, they are dying, they are dead, the person at the head will actually massage the victim's, the dead person's temples in order to get them to relax. And once that they feel that their person is in a relaxed state, they will then go into a story of how they believe they will die. Now, this is where some people get pretty creeped out because in the spiritualist movement, this has been known as premonitions. And some of these predictions, even though a child's game, did come true. But in my experience, you're getting a very nice head massage if somebody's doing it correctly, and they are relaxing you by rubbing your temples and making you feel like you're going into a deep sleep. This is part of meditation and relaxation, and they can almost put somebody, including other people listening, because everybody else needs to be quiet and putting on their listening ears. This can even put the listeners in a relaxed state that is meditated and suggested. So you can suggest things to them, making the person feel like they are light as a feather or stiff as a board, or make them feel like they weigh 1,000 pounds, but they only weigh a few. It's such an interesting phenomenon what belief can do to a person. Now, light as a feather and stiff as a board has been around for a very long time. One of the earliest recorded editions of this game happened around 1703, thereabouts, from the diary of Samuel Pepys, and he was in Paris, France. This is when he witnessed four young girls and a boy playing a game very, very similar, except using Latin phrases that meant rise, rise, light feather, and things like that. Um, the earliest it was actually put in a book was called The Magician's Book in 1857, and there is a version of the game that instead of telling people that they are dead or they're looking ill, there's hand claps and chants and things like that that um, or take the place of going light as a feather, stiff as a board. There are also people who play this game with chairs, and this is bigger in European countries. So instead of having a person lie on the ground, there will be somebody seated in a chair, and everybody else will be trying to lift said chair. So, what are the dangers of this game? Well, of course, falling, getting hurt. This is a very easy game to hurt yourself. So be mindful if you guys try to play this game, because you are trying to pick somebody up, and picking somebody up who is a full grown human who is not a child is difficult, and it doesn't always work. So if you decide to play this game, do so with a lot of caution and, really don't hurt the person. I've also seen versions of this where a person lays down in a fitted sheet or something like that, and instead of touching the person, they are lifting the sheet and they are only using a bit of their hands to do so. That seems to be the safest way to do this, but I am no expert and I'm not telling anybody to go out and play this game. Yeah, you do you. Um, so what are the other problems with this game? There are people who are extremely superstitious and believe that playing a game such as this is opening up a porthole or a demon or something, a demon to come into you because you're in a relaxed state, or you are fortune telling and you might accidentally predict the person's death. And how creepy would that be? But there are just some people who are plain afraid of this game. At the end of the day, light as a feather, stiff as a board is just a child's game. There is many different ways to play it. Some include meditation, some don't, some involve chanting, some don't. You know, it's interesting to see the history of this game going back to the 1700s, and that is one of the first uh recorded knowings of this particular game. It probably was around prior. There probably has been a game very similar to Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board for a very long time. Now, many people have seen the movie The Craft, the 1986 version. I guess they remade it, and I don't know about that, man. But there is a scene in there that is quite famous of Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board, where they actually get one of the girls to levitate. Now, that's not going to happen because that is Hollywood fiction. And I would recommend that if anybody actually levitates, then call me because I want to see it. As always, use your brain, use common sense when it comes to playing games. There is nothing wrong with startling yourself, with scaring yourself, with telling these tales that are spooky and just send chills down your spine. There's nothing wrong with it as long as it's all in good fun. Don't take things too seriously. You're not opening up a porthole to hell. You're having some fun. So please do it wisely. Don't injure yourself. Stay away from the chairs. I can just see that going all sorts of wrong. But it's a fun game. It's a fun childhood game, and something that maybe should be brought back to slumber parties. Again, just be cautious and careful. Don't throw your friend on the floor. You know who I'm talking to. That's happened. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this spectacular edition today, 31 Days of Halloween. And I just want to do a quick reminder. I am doing videos every single day. Yay, I'm trying to. And I am still booking for readings. So if you guys are looking to do a reading, maybe something a little spooky for yourself or a friend, reach out to me or go to www.lisatbrink.com. You can book a reading with me. I will put the link in the description. I decided to kind of ham it up today and go two different pairs of earrings of where I got these from Melissa Blue Delish. So these are bats, these are aliens, and this is actually a choker. But I don't like chokers, so I wear them as headbands. But I mean, you can wear it as a normal choker. But it's a cute little cat with a moon. But you know, I'm all about the headbands, except I just got myself caught. I got myself caught in my earrings. Fabulous. All right, everybody. I hope you have a lovely day. Stay tuned to the next chapter of Spectacular 31 Days of Halloween. Bye for now.